SLT Fibre and experience the power of fibre technology. Sri Lanka's only super fast internet connection. SLT Fibre. Call 1212 now.
Tonight, walls close in. ARJUN, ALOYSIUS and 7 others involved in the bond scam indicted. Room for improvement. British ambassador unimpressed with Sri Lanka's progress.
The climate for doing business here and the climate for investing here are not as good as they could be.
Minister of Development Strategies and International Trade meanwhile takes aim at chambers for cherry-picking who they back.
Today, hundreds of Muslim businesses are being targeted and they are faced bankruptcy, but I haven't seen the chambers combat this.
Heavy deluge and strong winds. Change of weather leaves 7 dead with over 200 stranded at sea.
මුහුණ සති කීපයකට කලින් ෆෑරන් ලව්ලි මෙන් ගෑවට පස්සේ මාක්ස් අඩු වෙලා ෆෑනස් වැඩි වෙලා.
මාක්ස් අඩු කරලා ඔයාගේ ෆෑනස් ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එක වැඩි කරගන්න. ෆෑරන් ලව්ලි මෙන් ඇන්ටි මාක්ස් ක්‍රීම්.
The 19th of July 2019.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Well, a very good evening to you and welcome to First at 9 on AdaDerana 24, Sri Lanka's news channel. I'm Katharina Chang. Now on to our top story tonight. All but 2 suspects involved in the central bank bond scam were served indictments today by the Colombo Permanent High Court at Bar. The first suspect in the case, former governor of the central bank, Arjun Mahindran, and the 10th suspect, ARJUN Punchaheva, were not present in court, and request was made from court to issue an arrest warrant against Mahindran. The 8 suspects served with indictments were subsequently released on bail.
The Permanent High Court at Bar today served indictments on 8 accused in the central bank bond scam case, including owner of Perpetual Treasuries Limited, ARJUN ALOYSIUS. The defendants were subsequently granted bail by the court. The case was taken up before a bench comprising Justices Sampath Abekon, Sampath Vijayaratne and Champa Janaki Rajaratne today. AdaDerana reporters said that no attorneys were present at the hearing on behalf of the first defendant in the case, former central bank governor Arjun Mahindran, and the 10th defendant, ARJUN Punchaheva, who also failed to appear before court. Following the service of indictments against the 8 accused, the court ordered that they be released on a cash bail of 1 million rupees each and 2 personal bails of 2.5 million rupees each. The trial at Bar ordered that one of the 2 bail signatories should be a relative of the defendant, while all 8 of the accused were barred from leaving the country and were also ordered to hand over their passports to court. Additional Solicitor General Priyantha Nawana requested the court to issue a warrant for the arrest of the chief accused in the case, Arjun Mahindran, who is absconding and is believed to be in Singapore. President's counsel Gamini Marapana, who represented several defendants, however, pointed out that even though it is stated that there is a red notice issued against Mahindran, it is not indicated in the official website of the Interpol. After long deliberations, however, the court announced that a decision on the request would be delivered on the 24th of July. The defendants in the case include Arjun Mahindran, former central bank deputy governor Pattinige Samarasiri, Perpetual Treasuries Limited, PTL owner Arjun ALOYSIUS, CEO Kasun Palisena, Chairman Jeffrey ALOYSIUS, directors Pushyamitra Gunawardana, Chitta Hulugalla, Muthuraja Surendran and ARJUN Punchaheva.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe vows to fulfill the expectations of the youth very soon. Expressing concern over the youth continuously stepping away from politics due to their needs not being looked into, the Premier pledged to merge the agenda of the youth with the government's.
Today, the youth are completely alienated from politics and have come to a space where they will not vote for anyone. This situation is not good for the political system. How can we gather them around the system? Although we have completed so much, the young think that we have not fulfilled their agenda. That's the greatest issue here. We need to analyze this situation in depth. We have not fulfilled these responsibilities for ourselves, but for the youth. If you are not satisfied with what we have done, what has to be done is to identify the reason behind it. We can't make the agenda of the youth our agenda. What I suggest is that we have to see how to incorporate those 2 agendas and go forward. As a government, we will think new and promote these 2 agendas. I will soon reveal how we intend to do it.
National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna, BASIL RAJAPAKSA, reveals that the policy declaration of the new government, which the party intends to form in the near future, is already in the making. Speaking at an event held at the party headquarters yesterday, he also said that their policy declaration is based on defence, economy and youth.
The Association of Young Professionals of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna was established at the party headquarters in Battaramulla last evening.
I'm confident that we will be able to move forward with the government, which we will establish soon. We have already started preparing our policy declaration. We have given prominence to defence, then the economic prosperity, and thirdly, fulfilling the expectations of the youth. All our policies will be prepared based on these three principles. Although I took the responsibility for the election results of the last presidential poll, I took a step back and thought about it. When I met some members of the Tourism Board and the Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation afterwards, they said they didn't vote for Mahinda Rajapaksa because we introduced the rule which ensured people could only cross roads at zebra crossings. I need to stress that there should be laws in this country.
The Secretary of the National Police Commission, Saman Dissanayake, who was arrested in connection with the Avant-Garde case, is remanded until August 2nd. The Gangodwil acting unofficial magistrate visited the suspect, who is currently hospitalized, and ordered that he be placed in remand custody. Dissanayake was taken into custody by officers of the Criminal Investigation Department at the Sri Jawadhanapura Hospital yesterday. The Madras High Court yesterday suspended the one-year jail term awarded to MDMK leader and Rajya Sabha member Waiko in a sedition case. Waiko's speech during the launch of the book I Accuse in 2009 was considered as seditious and a case was filed against him. He said that India would not remain united if the war against the LTT in Sri Lanka was not stopped. Hearing the appeal filed by Waiko, Indian media say that the court also suggested to Waiko's counsel to caution his client while making public speeches. Speaking to reporters after hearing the judgment, Waiko said he did not deny the charges, adding that he will continue to support the LTTE. And we will now cross over to short commercial break. Stay tuned. Now, in one of our top local news tonight, in recent weeks, countries around the Bay of Bengal have been hit by severe monsoon rains. Sri Lanka isn't spared either from the inclement weather, as heavy rains are experienced across the island since last evening, claiming the lives of 7 persons over the past 24 hours. The Disaster Management Centre says that 341 people belonging to 89 families have been affected by the severe weather conditions. Meanwhile, close to 260 people aboard 44 multi-day fishing trawlers also are stranded at sea.
Sinhalese by nature, because most of them are Buddhist origin, what we learn, what is our values, are to accommodate others and to embrace others. So the problem that we face in this country was not a race problem, is not about a problem with ethnic groups. If you really analyze, the problem is created by certain cults. They have certain beliefs, extreme expectation, and they are really disastrous. So they created imbalance in the whole society. So therefore we have to analyze it from a very macro point of view and from a holistic point of view. Unfortunately, over a period of time, everything has been politicized.
Have we really resolved the conflict between the North and the East?
We have repeatedly expressed our desire to live within one country, but there must be some measure of devolution of power or power sharing arrangements. The people who are smaller in numbers are not steamrolled over. And that is why a new constitution effort was done in the last 3.5 years. Unless this is solved, you can't say let's not talk about it, politicians are the ones who are causing trouble. No, that's not true. If we don't talk about it, we'll be kicked out, and another more extreme set of leaders will be elected from the Tamil community. I can assure you that already that is going to happen. We are going to be kicked out for cooperating and trying to resolve this issue amicably. There is the fear of the majority. I must say that also, because the Sinhala people in this country, although a substantial majority here in the region and in the world, see themselves as a very small minority. Every other minority group in this country, in the world, is a large majority. So there is an issue. But this is a matter that needs to be resolved if we are to move forward.
I am told that the others fear the Muslims, or that the Muslims fear the others, whichever way, has led to a lot of anger and hatred. And it's not something that can be swept under the carpet either. A lot of explanations required from all sides. The Muslims are very willing to change themselves, if at all a change would bring about a difference. But at the same time, they also expect reciprocity. It's very strange that people don't understand that we are a highly interdependent society. So if we are to perish, one community, then we all perish as Sri Lankans. But that message is somehow not given out, I feel.
Well, the views that you just heard were comments made at a forum organized by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce titled Progress of a Nation, How Can We Move Forward Together, where politicians, business leaders and civil activists came to discuss the current and political issues in the country. Now, getting back to one of our top news once again is the weather condition in the island, which has hampered day-to-day activities, where the Bay of Bengal have been hit by severe monsoon rains, including Sri Lanka, where 7 lives have been claimed thus far, and of course hundreds injured and displaced across the island. Let's take a look at the current situation which is taking place in the country at the moment.
With the onset of the southwest monsoon season, the island has been experiencing 2 extreme weather conditions. As temperatures reached up to 36 degrees Celsius in the north, central and eastern provinces of the island, the southwest region of the island was battered with heavy rain up to 253 milliliters. Meanwhile, areas of the western, southern, central and Sabaragamu province experienced wind speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour yesterday. Meanwhile, areas of the western, southern, central and Sabaragamu province experienced wind speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour yesterday. Nuwara district received the highest rainfall over the past 24 hours, with a rainfall of up to 253.5 milliliters, which was recorded from the Hapugastan estate. At 2 this morning, 10 shops in the town of Genigathena were damaged owing to a landslide. According to police, the body of a shop owner who was reported missing, along with his assistant, was recovered early this morning. Meanwhile, the body of 2 students who got caught in the current when trying to cross a stream in the area of Agarapatana was recovered today. One person was killed when a tree uprooted and landed on top of the motorcycle along the Mahiyangana route in Kandy. Meanwhile, in Suryavavar, 2 children aged 3 and 9 as well as a 31-year-old woman were killed when a tree fell atop of the 3-wheeler they were travelling in owing to the inclement weather. Furthermore, a cargo vessel named Sri Lankan Glory, which was caught in strong currents, was blown onto rocks in Rumasala of Galle last evening. The Navy was able to save 9 persons aboard. Furthermore, according to the Minister of Fisheries, close to 260 fishermen aboard 44 multi-day fishing trawlers are unable to return to land owing to inclement weather. 30 trawlers remain stranded in deep waters close to the Maldives, while the remaining 14 fishing vessels are in close proximity to India. The fishermen were said to have left the shores 5 days ago. The Ministry of Fisheries noted that steps have been taken to inform the Indian High Commissioner and the Maldives Embassy to rescue the missing fishermen. Speaking at a media briefing today, Minister of Disaster Management Ranjit Madhumabandara meanwhile said that measures are being taken to provide relief for those who are currently in relief camps. He added that 250,000 rupees will be given to families who suffered loss of family members owing to inclement weather. Furthermore, 10,000 rupees will be given as compensation to those whose homes were damaged, and steps will be taken to provide furthermore monetary assistance once an evaluation is conducted on their homes. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Police has set up 2 telephone numbers for the public to inform of any disaster situation in the country. The general public are urged to contact 011 245 4576 and 0112 587 229 in case of any disaster concerns.
Meanwhile, the Meteorology Department forecasts a high possibility for strong gusty winds of up to 70 km per hour during the next 24 hours, particularly in the southern, western and north central provinces and in the Trincomalee district. The National Building Research Organisation, meanwhile, extended their landslide and evacuation warnings issued to various parts of the island, with Ratnapura and Balangoda divisional secretariats being issued red alerts.
In the case of showery condition, it is gradually decreasing, but still there is a possibility for having rain in the central and Sabaragamu provinces. Fairly heavy rain falls around 100 millimeters during 24 hours. Windy condition is expected to continue until 21st.
Based on the rainfall in last few days, we issued the landslide early warning yesterday for Ratnapura, Nuwara, Kandy, Kegol, Kalutara, Matara and Galle. From these districts, we issue the evacuation notice to the Ratnapura and Balangoda division secretariat, and the level 2 alert message we issued the Kahavatta, Kalawana divisional secretariat divisions. In Nuwara district, we issued the evacuation notice Ambagamuwa, Nuwara and Kothmale divisions. Kandy district, we issue the second warning alert Gangawata Kawarle, Ududumbara division secretariat division, and we issue the red notice, that means evacuation notice, Udapalata secretariat division.
We will now cross over to a short commercial break and we will have more news on the other side. Stay tuned. Well, there was more cause to fear a military conflict in the Gulf, with US President Donald Trump saying that a US assault ship destroyed an Iranian drone in the Strait of Hormuz after the aircraft threatened the ship by flying to within 1,000 yards of it. He called yesterday's incident the latest of many provocative and hostile actions by Iran against vessels operating in international waters. He called on other countries to condemn Iran and protect their own ships. Meanwhile, the Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, however, said that he was not aware of any downing of an Iranian drone in the Strait of Hormuz. Zarif told reporters at the United Nations that Iran has no information about losing a drone on Thursday.
اساس آخرین اطلاعاتی که از تهران دریافت کردم هنوز ما هیچ اطلاعی نداریم که پهپادی از دست داده بود.
On to other international news. President Donald Trump has disavowed the send her back chants directed at Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar by his supporters at a campaign rally. Omar is a US citizen who immigrated from Somalia with her family after fleeing the country's civil war. The chants, which came after Trump criticized Omar and 3 other congresswomen, were widely condemned, including by some Republicans. Trump said of the chant that he was not happy with it and disagreed with it. He, however, did not elaborate on what he disagreed with. The controversial chants took place at Trump's campaign rally in North Carolina. And on to other international news. Whales were held back into deep waters by beachgoers recently after finding themselves stranded on a beach on St. Simon's Island in Georgia. Now, nearly 50 whales swam into the shallow waters near St. Simon's, where 3 died despite rescue efforts. Video footage shows the beachgoers pushing the pilot whales away from the shore. Rescuers said the whales were struggling to get back to the deeper water. Pilot whales engage in herd-like behavior and have been involved in previous mass strandings around the world, with 145 stranded on a beach in New Zealand late last year. And with that, we conclude this edition of First at 9. Thank you for joining us and have a pleasant evening.